Hello everybody, Mrs. Scott here. We're going to continue working on our castles today. We've drawn a castle using rectangles and triangles and semicircles, and we've traced with Sharpie. So if you haven't finished up those steps, do those first. We're moving on to working with the oil pastels that were in a bag that you picked up from school recently. And oil pastels are a softer version of a crayon that blends. They blend nicely together, so it's really fun to explore the use of oil pastels. You get kind of a painted look without having to have the mess of paint or the drying time, so that's really great. There is a little bit of mess because they will smear, so for that reason I want to encourage you as you're coloring today to hold on to a white spot of your paper and not just lay your hand any old spot that you've already colored. You want to try to always hold on at a spot you haven't colored yet until the very end. Or you could also use a cover page like this and kind of lay it over what you've colored, and then you're safe to lean your hand down as you continue on. So either one of those things will work. So we're going to go on to giving this a try. Colors that blend nicely together are colors that are near each other on the color wheel. So as you think about the color wheel, my colors here are out of order now, but yours actually come in the box in order. So that'll help you. You'll know if they're next to one another that they'll be good at blending on your page. So the directions for coloring today are any colors you would like can be used on the castle, and then focus on just sunset colors on the sunset. And I started out here working, doing some blending. I'm going to move on to some different choices of colors as I move along here and show you how these work. So I'm going to just use a little bit of green at the beginning of this long rectangle shape. And then I'm going to come up from the bottom with a blue, so you can see how that would look. And they can overlap a little bit in the middle, and you're going to get kind of a turquoisey look, or a blue-green in the middle. So you can experiment with how the colors look when you blend them. You can also experiment with how the colors look when you draw over top. So in this section here, say I wanted to use, let's see what I haven't used much of yet. I haven't used yellow yet, so let's try yellow. It's a lighter color, so it'll be easy to draw over it. And you're going to see something that just happened here. I dragged a little bit of this color into my yellow, and I like the sort of the sketchy, unpredictable quality of the oil pastels sometimes. So I'm not worried about a little bit of smudging of other colors inside. To me, it just adds to the style of this particular media. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But then that just shows you here how you can add a little bit of pattern or drawing over top if you would like. Once you add some, or once you color an area in, you can even draw on top with another color, and that is another great quality of oil pastels. So knowing those tips, I'm going to let you explore. I know in kindergarten and first grade sometimes it's the first time that students have used these, so being mindful about the blending and the drawing on top may not be the focus for every child, and that's okay, but mainly just practicing coloring with them, using them, filling the spaces completely. You want to make sure you're completely coloring the space and trying to not let the paper show through like a hole. Like you can see the paper a little bit here, that's okay, but we don't want to have a big hole where we just color in an area kind of like so, and then say we're done. This has way too many white areas, so we want to practice making sure that we kind of come around the whole edge of the shape. Sometimes we call this making a bumper, and it helps us to completely color in a shape because then we have a little bit of an edge there to protect us once we start coloring faster in the inside of a shape. So we want to just make sure in kindergarten and first grade that we're trying to get all those windows filled in. All right, not looking for perfection, just looking for our best effort. So have fun coloring in your castles this week. I can't wait to see how they turn out. Any colors you choose on the castle, sunset colors on the sunset. Have a great week.